I knew
because
they were done when the Heat swept them. Swept them out the playoffs. Bring out the
Bro.
brooms.
Talk about rebuild. You see that logo on your hat? I know you're looking for a massive rebuild.
You want to talk about the Jags NFL, huh? You got the first draft pick?
Let's get it. This is one of the greatest situations that could ever happen in a rebuild. Man. So, precursor. Jaguars, Jets blow it. Jaguars get number 1 overall pick. And it's going to be our first number 1 overall pick in franchise history. And it happens to be probably the greatest NFL prospect to come out of college. Probably the greatest, if not the greatest. Nobody's talked about any other guy like this since Andrew Luck, and his name goes by Trevor Lawrence, and he just declared for the NFL draft, which means if you see it on Twitter, if you follow us on Twitter, we put up we retweeted his farewell Clemson video, and I was like, one more step to becoming a Jaguar and coming down to
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
It's like our situation is so great, like, because we basically blew everything up. Like we had to. We got rid of everything. I was a little skeptical last offseason, but now coming into this offseason, it made everything worth it. Like, I've never wanted to see my team lose so bad in my life, because this is like one of the greatest. Like, this guy's a beast.
Really rooting for them. I didn't understand this season. I was like, why do you want it?
Well, the Jets decided they wanted to win. You know?
Yeah, Sam Darnold. Well, the problem was with the Jets is that the Jets had players that wanted to win and needed to win. They had Adam, their coach, like he had like Sam Darnold's playing for a position. We had nobody.
Yeah.
We had young guys, and I mean we had Minshew, but Minshew ended up turning out to be a bust. Like, we thought he was going to be something, like maybe, but like he ended up being a bust. I found out 3-4 games in that I was on the tank train. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We got Trevor Lawrence coming into the draft. Like, we got to lose out. We got to lose out. Like, this guy he's next level. Like, he's coming into the NFL as a top 15 quarterback already. Like, coming in. He's already probably going to be the second best quarterback we've ever had in our franchise's history.
That's high expectations.
Coming in, he's probably going to be the second best. But that's not so much high expectations on him. It says a lot about our franchise over the past 2 decades. I saw a stat, like, so our franchise, we've been around for 27 years. We've picked in the top 10, 19 out of 27 years. We've picked in the top 10. So our situation.
Well, didn't you say it was the funny thing with Jax, right? You guys usually trade your first round, or you get rid of these guys?
No, we never sign them. We either never sign them or they end up being ass. And our only good one we ever really hit on was fucking Jalen Ramsey. And then look where he's at now in the fucking playoffs with the LA Rams, which, you know, it's whatever. I don't really care. I'm over it. He was kind of a shit teammate, honestly. But I mean, we're coming up here. We're probably one of the top destinations. I mean, like, we're going to talk about this in a second, but like for head coaching and stuff, like, dude, we're going to have the number 1 overall pick. We'll have another pick in the first round. We have the most picks in the entire NFL. No other team has more picks than us. We're going to have the most cap space, so we can literally sign whoever we want, especially in a season where they had to change the salary cap because of COVID and stuff, and a lot of teams are getting hurt by that. So we have every opportunity to like completely 180 this team, and we got young talent. We got a lot of young talent, and I'm hyped. I expect us to be pushing for a playoff spot next year, and then the year after that, I expect us to be contender, 100%.
All right. So your predict now, right? Early prediction. Your record next year.
Guarantee
9-7.
What is it?
I will be happy. I'll be happy with 9-7. Give me 9-7. Like, I'll be happy with 9.
The schedules yet?
Not yet. No, I think they have. I'm not sure. But think about it. I mean, the Dolphins were tanking last year. Like they were not
tanking. Dolphins not tanking.
Dolphins were tanking.
Flores don't tank. Don't you
The
put that evil on me,
Dolphins
Ricky
were
Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
The Dolphins were tanking. It was
Nope.
100%. It was so evident
Nope.
they were tanking.
You know how they weren't tanking? Because they beat Cincinnati. They were in contention, just like you were with the Jets. They were in contention to get the first pick. They could have got first pick, but you know what they decided is to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's when you know Flores wasn't tanking. He's not a tanker.
Here's the thing, though. Hey. I'm not saying he was tanking. The front office was tanking. Because you cannot deny that team last year had no fucking players. They had no players.
We had players. We had veteran players.
We didn't have the best players.
We still don't have players, okay? Devontae last year had
think about it. Look how much money you guys spent on defense this offseason. You guys spent a shit ton of money on defense. Look how good
they were. Look how they kept us in games. How many turnovers? How many pick sixes?
I 100% agree with you. I agree with you there. I'm talking about last year. Last year, when you didn't have these guys, you guys were tanking. Like your front office was. You guys loved the idea too.
Okay, front office. Okay.
No, players and coaches don't tank.
Flores from the front office.
Even the Jags, like players, coaches, they don't tank. Especially our coach Doug Marrone and all our players, like they're not tanking. Marrone knew he was gone. He was going to get fired. Everybody knew he was gone. Our players, obviously, like they don't want to lose. They don't want to they don't care. But this is the front office, and I'm not surprised our owner Shad Khan that he probably had final say. Like, look, he told our GM and coach, like, no, you're not signing these people because you know what? We got this motherfucker named Trevor Lawrence. Is probably one of the greatest prospects ever to come out, who beat Alabama in the national championship as a true freshman. He would have came out as the number 1 overall pick as a true freshman. Like every single year, he said he would have came out. The only year probably would have been a little iffy is this past year with Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow had a miraculous season.
Yeah,
if you look at a career as a whole, Trevor Lawrence has had probably one of the greatest college careers ever. The guy has no flaws.
You were saying like he's the biggest prospect in these last coming years. Like no disrespect to him, but like obviously last season he got overshadowed. I guess Joe Burrow and what he did with LSU and everything like that was ridiculous. So like, he's really that good. Like he's really that great. Like you think he's gonna have a better career than Joe Burrow?
I think so.
Joe Burrow looks great. I don't know. I mean, obviously futures tell, but if I had to put my money, I would say Trevor Lawrence. Joe Burrow had a lot more question marks. He has and also, I mean, a lot of it's system. I don't know if I trust that Cincinnati system. The only thing I'm hoping that the Jags do is that we hire the right coach, whether it be Urban Meyer that they're talking about or whatever. We can set this up and set them up for success. Go ahead, Gabe.
No, I was going to say, because Trevor Lawrence did look good. I saw him play. I was like, this kid, he has the framework. He has the arm strength. He looks like a pro,
He's fast. Like
19 years old, looking like a pro. I was like, this guy, if Joe Burrow and him were in the same draft, I would have took Trevor Lawrence over Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow, obviously, he's always, junior, senior, coming out of college. Trevor Lawrence was still a sophomore or whatever. So
and the thing with Joe Burrow, too, he had probably one of the greatest offenses in college history with that LSU offense. That LSU offense was fucking. That team was stacked. Like, it was one of the greatest college teams ever. And he still threw for, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. And, everybody's talking about, how he didn't look that great about Justin Fields because, it's Justin Fields is going to, surpass Trevor Lawrence in the draft. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Don't give me that. Justin Fields looked like ass against 2 ranked teams. He just so happened to be throwing a couple bombs on go routes and against the Clemson defense that wasn't really that great and Clemson's offensive line that wasn't that great. And the thing is, people say Justin Fields looked really good. He threw for 350 yards, 6 touchdowns and all this. But I was like, Trevor Lawrence still threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns with literally an offensive line that was non-existent and an Ohio State defense that's really good. And you see Justin Fields now when he played against Alabama, he didn't look that great. I mean, granted, the scheming in that game was a little off, but they should have let him throw the ball more. But get the fuck out of here with that shit. Trevor Lawrence is the real fucking deal. He literally has no flaws. They can't find a single flaw about him. This guy can fly. He's 6'6". He has a rocket arm. He's super accurate. His footwork. Dude, Head and Shoulders commercials, like bro. I mean, you know what I love the most about it too is the footwork. I see this guy play, and like, he's on another level, and like his footwork's one of those things where you don't notice unless you like watch footballing a lot, and you see like the way he's able to maneuver the pocket and move up and just hit it is just like you can't teach that shit. Like that shit's like. He's just a natural at it, and this dude's unreal. Like, and I'm so pumped. Like, this guy, he's the next Andrew Luck, if not better.
Who do you think they go for their second pick? I saw they got the 25th pick from the Jets. What is Jaguar Nation? What are they saying that they're going to pick up second? Like, are they going to get a lineman, maybe somebody for him, or I don't know. What are their needs in Jacksonville?
So I was kind of pissed because the Rams won because we have the Rams pick. So the Rams beat the Seahawks, so I was kind of upset about that. I was upset back-to-back weeks because I wanted the Cardinals to beat the Rams, so the Rams didn't get in the playoffs, so it helps our pick. Then they get in, and then they beat Seahawks, which was a dumbass game. Like, Seahawks should have not lost that game. So our second pick, it depends what we do in free agency, like, which is going to be really interesting. It really depends what we do in free agency. If we get an offensive lineman, like they're talking about like Trent Williams and stuff, who's probably one of the best left tackles in the game. It's got to be offense, though. 100%. Like, I think you go out, sign defensive free agents, but our draft, we need to draft heavy on offense. Like, I want a lineman. There's a deep guard class coming into this draft. You got to get a guard, get a left tackle, get some rotational receivers. Like, go heavy on offense. Like, what I don't want is a Joe Burrow situation where Joe Burrow comes in here and he gets blown the fuck out by defensive ends and like his knee's like fucking non-existent. He's going to be walking out with a peg leg next year. Like, I don't want Trevor Lawrence walking out in a peg leg in his second year. Like, I don't want that. Like that's
you're definitely going to want to protect your first round pick.